You know, the interesting. I wonder when the last time this has been updated. But Board Game Geek defines genres. Like there are very few genres of board games according to Board Game Geek.
What are there?
There's only 8, and they are split into 2: mainstream and hobby games. In mainstream, there's family, dexterity, party, and abstracts. And then in hobby games, there's thematic games, Euro games, war games, and abstracts. There are 2 abstracts. So
it'd be tough to like keep dividing that and having a best ranking for every subcategory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of nice.
I don't. I mean, like, and
how many do you want?
I don't know, like 10,
20,
20.
30,
I mean, I guess there's 8, so
50.
10 is not that much.
Don't be insane.
Where do you
Zach.
stop, Zach? It's a slippery slope.
It is.
It's not that slippery.
Every game is going to have its own category.
Yeah.
This is the Moonrakers category.
Yeah, we're just gonna make up genres for our games so that we can be number one.
like the podcasts on iTunes. Just like, this is a genre. It's called Moonrakers. We are the best. We are the number one Moonrakers game. It's called Moonrakers. They also have mechanics, and there are a ton of mechanics.
How are you guys doing?
How are we doing?
How are you doing? Max, how are you?
I'm so good. How are you, Sam?
I'm doing well. I woke up very early this morning to go on a bike ride with some people, and I'm regretting that right now. But it was nice at the time.
How early is very early?
I woke up at 5.
That is very early. I woke up at 6:30, but to take my daughter to preschool.
Wow, you practically slept all morning.
I woke up at 7 with the intention of going on a bike ride, and then did not.
Nice. So what'd you do? Just lay there?
I went back to bed.
Okay, nice.
Until 8.
So you didn't wake up at 7.
Well, I did.
Yeah,
What are you
okay.
talking
A
about?
lot of mornings I wake up at 2 a.m.
Yeah, I
too.
was gonna say last night I woke up.
If
at
I had stopped the
3:45.
conversation there, I would agree with you. But I had full intention of saying I went back to bed.
Okay.
I woke up at 3:45. I got something to drink. I went to the bathroom because I'm an old man apparently. Seems like a very old
Maybe it's
man
'cause
thing to do.
Yeah, and getting a drink, so that's not helping anything.
I have to go to the bathroom most nights.
You get dehydrated when you're sleeping. Your body, when you wake up in the morning, you're dehydrated. So I feel like if I'm up, I'm like, I might as well hydrate.
You definitely should. That's our advice to you this week. Welcome to Ivy Games Weekly, everyone. We are glad to have you here. Austin is on vacation this week, so I am back. You get to see the progression of my pandemic hair and all of its wildness. Zach and Max are here too.
Hello.
I've been trimming my beard.
Like trimming it slowly, making it shorter?
Slowly, shorter and shorter. I'm also thinking about going for the buzz cut. It's just easy, I can give myself a haircut during a pandemic.
On your whole face or just the head?
No, just the top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No one would know. You just wear hats.
When does the beard end? When does the person decide that a beard is
Where
no
does the
longer
person
a part of their
begin?
life?
And when does the beard end?
I don't know. It's a tough decision. James Harden was offered $1 million to cut his beard, and he said no.
But he already has many millions of dollars.
Yeah, it's
If
not
you
fair.
were offered $1 million,
I would shave my beard.
you should definitely shave your beard.
What would it take?
How
much
that's a good
money?
question.
$20.
No.
All right. Let's see if we go that low.
That seems like a
I'm
myth.
out.
That seems like a myth to me.
What, the James Harden
The James Harden thing. Are you sure that it's true? Because even $1 million is even a lot of money to James Harden.
I'm not
it's
sure.
only a percentage of his income. But think about if someone offered you 10% of your income to shave your beard, you'd do it.
I would do it.
But that's his whole identity.
But James Harden looks pretty goofy without a beard.
Still good at basketball though.
What if he
I
wasn't?
think I don't know. I don't
Like
actually
a
care
He's
about
not good at
Samson
basketball.
situation.
Not good at defense. But what?
It could have been like a Samson situation. Cut his beard off and he can't play basketball anymore.
Might be able to play defense though. So. I can't imagine there's much interest in the board game audience in this, but who knows?
No way.
I like it. So.
You know what? I think that we just force our
interests
onto the people that watch this.
It's a great way to make a hit show.
And they either like it or they don't. And that's where we're at.
All right.
I'm wearing the new Stussy. I actually don't know what model of shoe this is based off of.
I don't either.
But the Stussy Nike collab that came out a couple weeks ago. Really like it.
What are you wearing, Max?
Max doesn't wear shoes.
You got no shoes on?
What
Do you
would
wear
you
shoes
be
in your
wearing?
house?
No. Yeah, you're right. I don't.
What would you be wearing if you were outside, Max?
Probably the Sakai's.
That's a good pick. You have the highs, right?
Yeah, the Blazers. They're so cool.
Good shoe.
Every time I see you in those, it makes me want to pick up some Blazers. But
those are special Blazers.
They are
you can't just
special.
pick up any Blazer.
Well, I know.
It's really like off-white Blazers and Sakai Blazers, and
The
that's
off-white
like
ones are
that's
so
like
cool.
They are really cool.
All Hallows Eve dream shoe.
Ooh. There's a new one coming out though. It's gaming inspired, and like the Nike swoosh is pixelated, and then it's white, and then the bottom is like a purple to like a pink, purple, blue gradient. It looks rad.
That's pretty
That's cool.
I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna try one.
I think Harden. Yeah, it was Harden had a PlayStation shoe. No, not Harden. I don't know. There was a PlayStation basketball shoe. It was one of the actual basketball models. Xbox also did a Jordan 1 mid, which is the worst thing. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like the mids.
Anyway, maybe
you said yourself you don't know why you don't
games.
like the mids. That's true. We're doing the same thing again.
The mid is just an in-between shoe. Like you need to commit one way or the other. And
I'm lukewarm on the mids, but I hate the lows.
Yes, lows are terrible. Mids
not everyone agrees with that though.
A lot of people disagree with you. I don't. Okay, so I don't own a low, but I don't think they're that bad. You're just actually looking at shoes.
Yeah,
now.
I'm trying to find the PlayStation shoe, but I can't find it.
Okay. Moving on. What's going on this week? This has been a very busy week for Veiled Fate and us.
It has been a busy week.
Particularly for you with Austin out of the office, we've also been trying to get a bunch of stuff printed for Veiled Fate so that we can start taking pictures of it and having real life play tests and everything. And so we have some of those things, but there's also been some problems with some of those things. So we're figuring out what needs to change and then getting them reprinted.
Yeah. Like one of our goals, or like as soon as possible goals, is to be able to get access to photographs so we can show you all, but also that was one of the things that the photography was one of the best functioning ads that we ran for Moonrakers. So that's a big part of our advertising strategy, but also just to show you what it actually looks like in real life instead of the renders that I do on my computer. But some of them are going really well. For those of you who know, like the city and the age cards, they're looking great, and we'll have quest cards soon. The fake cards looked kind of terrible, so we're working on it. And then 3D printing lots of minis, still trying to get that sorted. Too many supports, not enough supports, got stuff falling off, got stuff breaking. It's crazy. So
it was cool seeing the board.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, we have the board is very big in the best way.
Yes.
And yeah, we got one printed. It had white edges though, and it kind of puzzles together. And so we're gonna get another one that's got black edges, so that way you don't really see the edges at all. It'll be a little bit more seamless. But other than that, it looks really, really nice.
It does. Yeah, I'm impressed. And we don't get to use the same mass manufacturing methods that we get to for the actual game, and so it's a little bit of like hobbling stuff together from different printers and different manufacturers and stuff to get low quantity prints, and you never really know how it's going to turn out until you have it, but it turned out great.
Yeah, and one of the things that's also been challenging is like we did this on Moonrakers. We did a lot of spec UV, which looks really great, which you all see soon when you get your copy of Moonrakers. But then we also did like gold foil and silver foil on the outside of the box, and we're going to use that again. But we kind of took that was kind of like in our head while we were designing some of these things. And so like when we get these cards back, you know, our mass manufacturer really is the only one who has the capability to do that. And so like we're having to kind of tweak stuff for the, you know, the prototype copies and stuff. So it's a little bit, I don't know, it's a little tricky, but we're getting there. Oh, Max, Sam and I were talking earlier about like some like upgrades to different pieces. What do you think about wooden board pieces? Is that even possible? Because I feel like that would be dope.
It's possible. Wait, what pieces?
So the board itself,
like the entire board is made out of wood.
Yeah, I want that.
Is there precedent? Is that a thing that people do?
I've never seen it.
I just think it'd be so cool. Like the board itself, it's got that like kind of yellow base, kind of that almost looks like a nice like light birch or something like that. And I think it'd be so cool to kind of leave that out and then like just somehow print on top of like wooden pieces, and then you could buy it as an extra. I don't know. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
I mean, yeah. Well, how much weight would that add?
Audience.
I have no idea.
Audience, let us know if you would buy a wooden board, a Veiled Fate.
Yeah, or if anyone else has done that. Because I don't even know where else to get it. Because we were talking about engraving. Like there's some like
you can do like laser engraving.
Well, I know, but the artwork for the board is not vector, and it would need to be vector line work. Because I've seen like really cool like board or wooden prints that like this one person does like Zelda maps, and they laser engrave it on wood, and it looks stunning. And I was like, we could do that, but I don't think it's going to translate well. I think we need to do some kind of like paint. We could screen print, but I think there's too many colors. I don't know.
We'll have to figure it out.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone has any ridiculous ideas that they love for like add-ons, like a metal box or something.
Yeah, we also talked about an entirely metal box.
Yeah, or just like everything metal. Just one copy, everything metal.
This is the most expensive thing in the world to ship.
120 pounds.
If you want these things, be prepared to pay a lot of money for them.
Yeah. It is nice to have heavy materials, though. It's just so fun. And
what's that dice? The heavy one? What are they called?
Hematite. Just hematite everything.
Hematite.
Yeah.
Make every single thing out of a gemstone. Carve the board out of a slab of granite.
That's got to be a category on Board Game Geek. Just weight.
Yeah, heaviest.
That's what they mean by weight.
Yes.
Please get on that, Board Game Geek.
That's right.
Weight and then literal weight.
We are.
Yeah, those think we didn't understand it. We're like, we have the heaviest game. Why are we not up there?
Okay. Anyway, the topic that we're talking about this week is games that get people into games. What are those gateway drugs?
Oh, wow.
That you might
Can't talk
find
about
like
drugs.
what are the best games to have somebody who's never played a game before or only played like Uno or something like that to get them more into it. For me personally, it was there's a couple things. In my adult life, it was probably Catan, which a lot of people it was probably Catan.
Sure.
The thing that made me turn that corner into something, and then Dominion came pretty quickly after that. That was the result of you.
Yeah. Does Dominion qualify as an entry level game though?
I mean, it was one of the first games that I played, and it didn't feel too heavyweight to like alienate me. I mean, I'm sure it's different for every person, but
I don't know. What do you think, Max?
I mean, card games seem more palatable. Like
Really?
people, you grow up playing other card games. Like everyone seems to play euchre and stuff like that. So it's just like
played that all the time.
Something about just cards is like, oh, it's just a card game.
Interesting. I don't know. To me, like, it is interesting because obviously it's super subjective. Because I feel like there are some people who would say like the majority of the games that I play are entry level games because they're not,
Star Wars Rebellion.
Yes, sure. They're just like, everybody's like, oh, that's so simple. Like I was even doing some research for this and like on Board Game Geek, and it was just like a conversation about entry level games, and they just had like games that were in like 3 or 4 like weight level on Board Game Geek. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like these are so complex.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Obviously, it's very subjective, but sorry, I'm dumping on your entry level game. Like that's not an entry level game.
I'm just telling you like what were some of the earliest games that I played that like got me into it. I don't know if you guys remember that. You've been a lot more into games for a lot longer than me.
No, I remember playing Dominion though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's one of the things that led to Moonrakers. So had to have you play Dominion first. It is. I mean, in that sense, like Dominion is like almost a precursor to playing Moonrakers. So in that sense, it definitely is because it just like builds upon that concept. But what about childhood games for you?
For me,
yeah.
The one that sticks out to me, and I know people really hate this now, but it was Axis and Allies.
You played Axis and Allies as a kid? Like
yeah,
full games?
I did. I had
was
some
it the
friends.
Kids version?
No, it was not. I had some friends who were really into the military.
Just as a whole?
As a whole, military history, modern military, everything like that, and they got me into playing a few games of Axis and Allies. I don't think I played like a ton of games of Axis and Allies in my childhood, but I probably played a few, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And now I understand that that's considered a very bad game. And so it's kind of funny that it was that like gateway into it for me at a younger age, but I don't know. I guess I just love the scale of it, and there is strategy, and trying to move everything around the board and win and use your resources in a way that was most beneficial to an outcome, and sacrifice things where you needed to sacrifice them and stuff like that.
That's a very impressive first game.
Yeah, it is.
Like.
There's a lot going on, and it's just a long game. It's so impressive.
Yeah. Well, it's like Risk too. Like that was I remember early on being like trying to play with my older brother and being like, I don't know what's going on.
I don't think I've ever finished a game of Risk, but you play Risk now via email, right?
It's so good via email. It's like such a better game.
Are you in a game right now?
I am not in a game. It's been a while actually.
Oh, we should start one up.
But
I want to play.
I'd love to. Seriously, the whole Fog of War thing, which you cannot do in real life, is so cool. Like that game is like meant to be played online.
I played a lot of Risk online. There was some Risk online version.
I remember that.
I don't even remember what years it would have been, but I do remember playing it for a little while.
It's like Windows 95 or something.
Oh yeah.
Online, it went so fast. You play a game in like half an hour.
Yeah, that's true. I definitely played full online games, but
you guys play Monopoly?
We did play that as a kid. I think the full version too. I kind of liked it as a kid. Something about.
I think it gets a lot of hate for still being all right.
Back to this again.
I did play Monopoly. I mean, everyone played Monopoly, maybe a few dozen times. I don't think I've ever finished a game of Monopoly. Ever.
One of our good family friends they collected Monopoly games, and so we would like play all the different like just random themed versions of them when we would go over to their house. I remember liking that. Like, I think that's one like good like keys to being an entry level game is like an accessible theme or something that you like some like latching on point where it's just like, I really like, I don't know, Star Wars or like horses or something. I just remember there being like a horse themed Monopoly.
There's every theme Monopoly.
Yeah. So it's just
crazy.
like, oh, I like that. I'll do this thing. And I think there's definitely something there as far as like, kind of qualifications for what makes it an entry level game.
Sure. I mean, so what even qualifies as an entry level game? What is a board game that gets people into board game, and what is not? Like, is Candyland a board game that you get people into?
I have 4 qualifiers on what makes a good entry level game.
Official.
All right. You know. All right. So number 1, short play time. Right? Because
what's short?
Under 45 minutes.
Does Monopoly qualify for that?
No. These might be hot takes. I don't know. So I think short playtime is required because, and this is for me, like when I'm thinking about this, it's like I've got a group of people that come into my house. They are not board gamers, and like I want to, show them a good time. Bring out something that is gonna reflect well on the medium as a whole. And so like low play time is great because you don't want to like, you get out before they get bored. That's, I feel like, a key, with the ultimate goal of drawing them further down this rabbit hole. So low play time is one. Low complexity is pretty obvious. And then the third one is teach some greater mechanic or way of thinking. So like a good example would be Splendor in engine building, right? Like it starts to teach you something or a mechanic that will be helpful in other games that you play that are maybe a bit more complex. And then the fourth one would be an accessible theme. So like something that like they can, like art or I don't know, something that like draws you in that has nothing to do with gameplay. So those are my four qualifiers for a good entry level game. What do you guys think?
I think they're nice.
I like it. I mean, I disagree a little bit.
Okay, well,
wait, but I want to hear what I want to hear what the games are, though. Like,
what the specific
what are the
games
ones?
Are?
Well, yeah, like what are meeting these that someone comes to you and wants to play a game? You have 4 people. What do you show them?
I don't even think my suggestions meet all these criterias. I more of came with a list prepared of my like own personal adventures. I don't know if I actually have any like really good ones. Now that I'm looking at my list of things, I'm like, these do not qualify well. So like I think a lot of party games like fit this, because I think there are some party games that like do some of these things. Like there's like games like Wits and Wagers that are just like you can pull them out with anybody, but I don't know that they qualify from the like teach some sort of like greater mechanic or way of thinking. Like I don't think that actually like, pulls you in further, but there are some party games that do that.
Yeah, but party games usually like you need quite a few people for those. And
That's
like
true.
Those are good situations in which, but like I feel like when we're talking about gateway games, I'm thinking of like Catan and like those early games where it's like it's just a couple of us and we're getting into some deeper look at like what games can be.
Yeah. No, I like that, like aspirational, and that's kind of what I was trying to get at in there. Like this, like give you a little bit of taste of like games can be more than just like a Monopoly or something like that. They actually have like depth and like are like well crafted like products that are like really well thought through, and there are like different like levels and layers of strategy that I think some people might not even realize is out there, which I think is really fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Max, do you remember? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sam.
No, you go ahead.
I was wondering what your gateway game was, Zach. What was the one that got you
my
in?
personal gateway game?
Yeah.
So early games in life that were like maybe, I don't know if did either of you play Stratego?
I did not.
I think I played it once.
I loved that game as a kid. It kind of had some like chess vibes, My dad taught me chess, and so like that was like one of those kind of early entry. I had like chess books and things like that. But then Stratego was like a much more like kind of themed version of that game, but also had a lot of memory involved. So you've got these like you've got a bunch of characters, and you set up. You got like it's got the setup phase, which is really fun, where you set up like this massive. I think you've got probably like 20 or 30 pieces, but you can't see them. Like, and so you have to send out scouts, and like they show you what character it is, and then you flip it back over, and so you're trying to remember like where everybody is, and you're trying to take down their general, I think is the win condition. I don't know, I was kind of wanted to like pull it back out just for like nostalgia's sake, but I just like remember loving playing that game with my dad as a kid, and it just felt like a little bit more like fun version of chess for me, and it had a lot of different things. But then college was really the start of like more complex games, and that was basically just like Settlers, and then put a lot of Monopoly Deal in college, which was like kind of like a I don't know. I don't even know if that game's any good. I haven't played it in so long, but like we really liked that game a lot. But yeah, the boring answer is Settlers. But I was thinking about that, like why is Settlers that? Like,
oh, I know. I was thinking this too, because like it does not fit a lot of my criteria for what I would introduce someone to now. And
yes.
I don't think that there's just nothing in the space. And so like I don't think that's fair to get like, oh, it's the only thing there. It was just way more going on than I would ever want to like show someone who never plays games. And it's also like kind of mean sometimes.
It is kind of mean
It
sometimes.
is very mean.
But it's usually mean towards the person who's doing really well, which is usually not the people who are learning the game.
I don't
That's
know.
fair.
In my experience, it's like someone just gets locked out pretty early on in the game. Like they just like
That's true. Like,
depending
you
on
build
where
them in, essentially.
depending on where they place their
That's true.
settlements, they just get built in, can't build roads, can't get new resources. Like like normally one person in every game of Settlers just gets screwed right at the beginning.
And actually, like that's a good point. Like I think Settlers is an incredible game, like truly. But also like from an entry level standpoint, it's like the first decision you make.
Yeah, so I was just thinking.
Is like if you make a bad decision on where you place your first two settlements, like I played with people, it's just like, yeah, you're not gonna win. Like not before we even started playing, and you have to make like this huge strategic decision like before you've even gotten a feel for the game. Like that's definitely would not. that's definitely out from a like good entry level game if we're like speaking objectively, probably.
Okay, so I will say I'm a big fan of Catan still to this day, and a large part of why I like it is because you can screw people over in it.
Because you like to be mean.
Because I like to be mean when I'm playing games. And I was thinking about where that comes from, and it is from an early childhood thing of playing card games with my family. We used to play this game called Scratch, which is very similar to like 500 bid, which I think people probably know a little bit better.
I love 500 bid.
But there's Trump in it, and you can really screw people if you want to.
Is it a team game?
It is not a team game. No,
Okay.
It's an individual game, so it's a little different than 500 bid. It's an individual game, but you bid on hands in the same way that you do 500 bid. And yeah, as soon as you start going down, you start trying to take other people with you. And I played this so much with my family, and I think I really got a taste for being very mean in board games, and it still rings true today. Like every game that I play, I'm always looking for a way to just like cause chaos and make people's plans fall apart.
Oof, that's rough.
I mean, I win a lot too. If you've ever watched me play Moonrakers, I beat these guys.
Okay. He wins occasionally.
Max, what was your gateway?
I grew up playing Monopoly and, Guess Who? That's a big one.
Ooh, oh wow.
Like the movie
Yeah.
with Bernie Mac
Yeah. You just
and,
watch that
and
a lot.
Ashton Kutcher.
And then I think in college, Catan was another starting one, but actually quickly went to Puerto Rico, which is like way more intense.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and it was. We like learned, like 4 of us learned, and we're like, okay, we love this game, but we're never inviting anyone else to play this game because we do not want to go through that whole thing again, and we just want to like we all know it, so we're all just gonna play it.
Yeah.
And so that, I mean, like honestly, from there, I was like thinking back on that and be like, wow, I would never choose either of those games to show someone out the gate. And while I don't agree with your like low time commitment on a game,
Okay, yeah. It definitely weeds a lot of games out.
it does. Too many. So instead of criteria, I just have a couple of games I was thinking of where it's like, if someone wanted to play games, here's what I would show them.
Mm-hmm.
Carcassonne.
Nice. That's great. I had
Great,
that on my list.
easy. I think low teaching time is like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And, like the fastest I can get into a game, the better. And so that one,
Yeah,
especially without like farms, it's like really easy to teach.
Yeah, well, and it's nice. Carcassonne kind of like is that nice gateway into worker placement, which is just
Yep.
like a grand opening into just tons of the other amazing top 20
Yeah.
BGG games, because a lot of them use that mechanic. But
Yeah. And you
as
mentioned Splendor too, which is like the same thing for me. Like those are both like really solid first choices.
Yep.
You guys have always talked about Splendor, and I've never played it.
Oh, yeah, it's good. I think Splendor is interesting because
I don't
it's like,
believe you.
well, Splendor is interesting because it's a game that I would bring to the table with a group of new board gamers, but I would never bring it to the table any other time, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I
I
agree.
would always rather play something else, but it's that's probably why we haven't played
Yeah,
it. It's just
no,
I would
definitely.
get you. I would you know what you're doing. We played Gloomhaven together and stuff, so it's it's just like a waste. I'm just it's not the right crowd. So
Makes sense.
you missed it. You're never gonna get to play it now. No. Max, do you play Agricola?
Yes.
Okay. I was looking at some other entry-level worker placement, and people were recommending Agricola, all creatures big and small, which is like a 2-player version.
Oh. Yeah, it's like a regular one would not be a good one.
No,
That
I
one's
know, but I
very
was
intense.
because I feel like Agricola is an amazing game, but it's pretty hefty. So it made me really want to get this because I'd like to. I don't know. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And I
They
think
made like a kids version of Scythe too.
Oh, is it really? That's cool.
Yeah, I forget what it was called.
That's pretty new, right?
Yeah, definitely more new. I forget what it's like. It looks really. It's like My Little Scythe.
Yeah.
That's what they called it.
Yeah.
We need to make a My Little Moonrakers. My little.
Honestly,
little
that sounds
Moonrakers.
really good.
Little Moonrakers. All right, I got 2 more though.
Okay.
Dixit.
Nice. I own it. Never played it.
It's a great one.
Yeah?
And like really quick to teach. Like
Okay.
really quick. And it's like a card-ish game, so
Card-ish
it feels
game.
easy. Well, it's just like big cards, and it's like you're just gonna play one of these a turn and then say something.
Yeah.
It's easy enough. And then I don't know if you guys have played Betrayal at the House on the Hill.
No, I have not. Which I need to play.
That was one. It's co-op, which is the only co-op game I have on here because I think competitive games are oftentimes more fun. But this is one where it's and just like teaching a co-op game for someone new, it's just gonna end up with someone doing the whole game.
Yeah, exactly.
But this one's just like I could just set up the game and then put like 4 minis in the first room, be like, all right, we've just entered this house, we're gonna go explore it, and then on your turn it's so easy just like to move into a room, and you don't have to teach the game at all, or even like what's gonna happen when the whole thing turns to like the betrayal part.
Yeah.
And like it could go south because I think if the new person ends up being the betrayer, it might be a lot for them to figure out. But it's a quick game to get into.
That's cool. I really need to check that one out. I feel like I've been like so many people have told me I need to play that, but I don't feel myself wanting to play co-op games like too often, unless it's Gloomhaven or
like Gloomhaven.
Or I like, or I would say Pandemic Legacy, but I like totally abandoned that. It's because somebody moved away though. One of our players moved away. Andy, what are you doing? And then I saw an Instagram story, and he's playing it with just other people.
Wow!
You know?
Wow!
I know.
He just left you guys in the middle of a pandemic and he's trying to fix someone else's pandemic.
I know, and I'm like, we're just sitting there. On like playthrough 6 or something. I don't even know. I think the people are going to turn into zombies. But yeah. What they got? Season 0 out yet? I feel like they're... No?
It's coming out though. Yeah.
I need to play that. That's another one I haven't played yet.
Pandemic?
Any pandemic. Wait, no. I think we played it once.
We played
it once, yep. I think we won. We... beat the pandemic.
I think, Once you play the Legacy, I don't think I would go back and play the normal one anymore.
No,
I don't know why.
There's a lot of versions of it though.
There are a lot of versions. I was having this conversation the other day with someone. They like bought Pandemic to play as a family, and they hated it. And then they were like describing it to me, and it was very different than the Pandemic game that I had played. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, and then I looked, and there's like so many different variants and like simpler versions. I don't know.
My Little Pandemic.
My Little Pandemic.
Anyway, let us know what your gateway games were, and if you have any recommendations for new people, what you bring to the table whenever you have somebody that you'd like to be into games, but they're not. How do you get them there? That's pretty much everything. We did that. We talked about IB and the update and what's going on earlier. I don't think we really have too much else to talk about.
We're making all kinds of cool things though for Veiled Fate.
So many cool things.
You just wait. Just you wait.
Yes. Please follow those because we're only getting started.
Yeah.
Zach's been working on one big thing that we're not going to spoil.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it all, but it's coming.
But it is huge, and it is coming, and you don't want to miss it.
Wow, that's a tease. It's
it's going to be worth it. I'm not overhyping.
Under promise, over deliver. It's going to be fine. It's going to be okay.
Over promise, over deliver.
You will be mildly delighted.
Ooh, I like that promise.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Just get ready for your little mild delight.
Okay.
Well, thanks for watching.
Thanks for joining us this week. It's I think a little bit of a shorter episode, but let us know if you like the length, if you like them longer. We also skipped the new games we love section because we didn't love any new games. So,
wow. Just saying it. We probably missed the good one. If you're out there and you're watching and you have a game on Kickstarter right now, we probably didn't look at that one.
Yes, but please don't. Honestly, we didn't dig that deep this week. We were running a little bit behind, and
Austin's on vacation.
And everything just falls apart when Austin's not here.
It's true. Austin, come back.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, everyone. Have a nice day.
My little Austin.